Good morning and welcome to the first episode of From the Coach's Office. I know it's myself and Mr. Schlender here, and I know some of you are probably wondering or thinking this looks very similar to a different kind of webcast that Mr. Schlender was actually a guest on. But unfortunately, Mr. Hoppy, um, for lack of better words, had a Michael Jordan moment where after three championships, he decided to hang it up and retire from webcasting. And I'm kind of like Scottie Pippen. I'm still in the prime of my career for webcasting. So I wanted to go and create my own. And what better than have someone kind of like Mr. Schlender? He's almost like Horace Grant if you've been watching The Last Dance. You know, Horace stepped up and helped Scottie Pippen take over that team. I think Mr. Schlender's ready to take over and be part of a webcast. So we created From the Coach's Office. So Mr. Schlender, thanks for joining me on this and starting this endeavor.
Yeah, you bet. It seems like we got a pretty good response on that animal draft that one time.
Yeah, and I mean you blew the competition away. So I know you're a good person to have on board. So couldn't have asked for.
Yeah, tens of people voted on that.
Yeah, it was really impressive. Yeah, Mr. I could tell Mr. Hoppy was starting to see the decline. He saw the writing on the wall. So, but
he's just taking a break.
Yep, you never know. Jordan ended up coming back. Mr. Hoppy maybe he can be a guest on our show. Maybe that's what will happen. So we are, we're gonna stick with the whole drafting setup, and we're going to draft summer school classes that high school kids can take and middle school kids. And I think it's fair that we do talk a little bit about why we are knowledgeable, what our credentials are. Mr. Schlender, do you have a couple credentials that you want to talk about at all? I know I didn't really let you think about that.
Well, I think I'm going to wait until I think I'm going to wait with my credentials until I give you my first pick.
All right.
That's okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, we can wait till we make our picks. I think that's a good idea. Okay. So then with that, we're just going to get into the pick. Again, it's summer school classes. And Mr. Schlender, I did a random vote or a random wheel generator, and you get the first pick. So whenever you're ready, you can make your first selection for summer school class.
I don't think this is going to be a surprise to too many students out there. But my first pick, if I was going to tell students what summer school class to take, would be the class titled Speed, Agility, and Quickness. It's being offered virtually this summer. And here's where I'd like to throw out some of my credentials on this.
Okay.
I think one of the reasons that I think that I'm qualified to make this pick and qualified actually to teach this class, and I am biased towards the class since I'm teaching it, full disclosure. But I think the number one thing is, a lot of students probably don't know this, I used to be fast. There was a time when I was fast. In fact, if you were going to use the terms speed, agility, and quickness right next to those terms, they probably would have put a picture of me. Oh, did you say picture?
Do you have something? Do you have proof?
I have a picture. I actually have a picture of me after I had already run and I've jumped. Here's the picture. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not.
Yeah, I just made your screen bigger so they can see that. Wow.
Yeah. Now, granted, that's about 35 years ago, but there was a time when I was fast. And I know a lot of students probably don't believe that because maybe you've seen me walking down the hall and I'm walking slow. But I think I'm qualified to teach that class. Do you want me to promote the class a little bit right now, or do you want to go with your first pick?
No, you go ahead and you promote your class.
So when students sign up, they'll see a course description of the class, and the class will consist of workouts provided to all of our athletes, and we're going to work on becoming more effective runners, technically more efficient runners. We're going to work on agility, which will be lateral movements, drills working around cones, cutting, moving side to side, changing directions. And then the third component of the class will be foot quickness. And we're going to talk a lot about how to develop speed, how to improve speed, and how to maintain speed. There's not a single sport out there that being more agile, being quicker, and having better straight ahead speed is not going to be to your advantage over your opponents. So that's the serious side of the class. It's going to be delivered online. There will be drills posted weekly for students to complete, and then they'll fill out a little log that will tell us what they've been doing. And the class will be directed by myself and Coach Schmidt primarily. And if students have any questions about the drills or anything like that, the drills will be explained, and we'll have videos of those drills also.
Wow. I tell you what, if I was still in high school, I would be signing up for that class.
Well, I want to say you were fast.
I was.
You were a fast runner. You had pretty good, being a linebacker like you were, you had pretty good lateral movement, pretty agility.
Yeah, I don't like to say that about myself, but I appreciate that compliment.
Quickness, maybe you missed some of the days that we worked on quickness when you were in high school.
Yeah, I think so. That's fair.
Yeah. All right. So sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but
that's good.
You got your pick now.
I got my pick, and with my pick, I'm going to pick the class called Strength, Plyometrics, and Core.
Good
and
pick.
I'm just typing it. And the reason, I just a quick, there's one part of this, strength and plyometric. I feel like I have both of those, maybe not so much at this age in my life, but when I was younger, maybe a little bit more. But one that I know a lot about, and my credential for this class would definitely come in the core section. I just recently finished a 30-day ab challenge. It only took me 26 years to finish, but I did complete the 30-day challenge. So I do.
In 26 years?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I thought that was a pretty good pace. So I know a lot about core. Feel like that will be a real strength of the class. Students that have done baseball and football, I do concentrate on abs enough. So that's definitely part of the class that I think fits my credentials. But anyhow, talking about the class itself, obviously this is going to be a virtual class as well, just like the speed, agility, and quickness. And the strength and plyometric, you would obviously love to be in a weight room for it. So through the virtual class, we're going to have some different types of lifts and movements that you can do that you don't need to be in a weight room for, but you still develop that strength and explosiveness that you would naturally develop within a weight room. So workouts will look a little different. Obviously, we don't have the free weights and so forth that you would have in a weight room. So they'll be designed specifically for you to be able to compete or complete by yourself at home, but still gain that strength and muscle and explosiveness that you would do in a regular weightlifting course. And then the core is a strong component and something we want to make sure that was covered in one of these two classes, because in all sports, your core strength is going to make you a better athlete in whatever sport you are taking part in. So it's going to be set up the same as Mr. Schlender's class that he talked about, where you get weekly workouts posted for you. And if you have questions, you would ask myself, Mr. Cullen, Mr. Shimmick, or Mr. Keller, who will all be helping make up this course. So that's my pick.
Sounds like a great course. Sounds actually like a complementary course to the speed, agility, and quickness, and vice versa.
Yeah, that, you know what, now that you say that, it does seem like they complement each other really well.
So in past summers, when we were meeting in person with the students, we sort of blended these two courses together. And now, since we're unable to meet, it sounds like maybe a really good idea for somebody who wants to improve as an athlete at Brilliant and be ready to compete in the fall. We need to take both of these classes. So we almost have number one picks today.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, not 1 and 2, maybe 1A and 1B.
Exactly.
I like that. Yeah.
And the nice thing about these being virtual is if you've got a job, if you want to sleep in the morning a little bit, you can complete these workouts at any time of the day or night, actually.
Yeah, great point, Mr. Schlender.
Very flexible schedule.
Yeah, I like that, and I think that's a solid point to make sure you understand is the flexibility, that you don't think you have to choose one over the other. The workouts will be there, and you can complete them when you're able to. That's great.
Great.
Now we usually will throw out a couple other honorable mentions. Did you have any honorable mentions that if you were a high schooler you would want to do?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any classes in some of these things, but I just like to mention some other activities that students could do that would be fun activities to do in the summer. One that I like to do is sitting.
That
like
does.
To sit, sitting on a couch in a recliner, outside in a lawn chair.
Yeah, that's intriguing stuff.
A lot of different places that you can sit, and while you could watch TV, you could watch birds, you could sit by a lake. A lot of places to sit. Not a bad option for a summer activity. Sitting.
Not at all.
But a really good option after you've done your workouts.
Yes.
I think after you've done a workout, rest is important, and sitting would be a really good activity to learn how to do during your summer activities. So sitting would be one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, that's a strong honorable mention. That kind of ties into what I was thinking for honorable mention. As a younger guy, I can see how video games would be intriguing to learn more about in summer. Again, I think video games are good and I see merit in them, but I like your point of after you maybe finish these two classes, you'll have plenty of time for video games and you can sit while you play video games through your recovery.
Absolutely.
And I think it's, there's a reason we bring up video games and sitting as honorable mentions and not our top choices. And it kind of goes into if those are your top choices and I don't know, say someone from a rival school chooses speed and agility and quickness and strength, plyometric, and core over sitting in video games, when we get back to sports in fall, just imagine the difference in the people that choose to do our top two picks as opposed to sitting in video games. I think there will be a pretty big difference in those students.
It'll be noticeable.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting that there's this opportunity to develop and get better virtually.
Well, another quick honorable mention, sleeping.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Not far from sitting, but sleeping, it's important. But again, after the workout or before.
Yeah. You can choose. That's the nice thing about the flexibility.
A lot of flexibility. And there's all kinds of other honorable mentions. We could go all day on those.
Yeah, I think it's clear to the athletes the point we're trying to get across here. And so with that, we obviously did this to help promote these two classes. I think it's important, and Mr. Schlender and I have talked, it's important that you continue to check your email for updates on these. This will be sent out in an email in which you can sign up through summer school for these classes. And then once you are signed up, keep checking your email for more information from Mr. Schlender and myself on these classes, how to sign up on our Google Classrooms for these so that you can get your virtual workouts and keep up to date on what you should be doing and what expectations are. Mr. Schlender, anything I missed that you would like to add?
One last plug here is I would say there's very few things in life that are guaranteed. There are no guarantees, but these classes come with a guarantee. If you take these two classes, you will be in better shape, you'll be stronger, you'll be faster, you'll understand more about fitness and training than you would if you don't take them. That's an absolute 100% guarantee. How much better you get will probably be dependent on how hard you work in the class and how consistent you work out. But it's guaranteed that if you take the classes, you'll be more prepared for your fall sport than if you don't.
Awesome.
That'd be my final sales pitch.
All right, perfect. And then obviously if you have any questions before you sign up or after you sign up, feel free to reach out to Mr. Schlender and myself. We'd be glad to help you. Remember to promote this. If you see this video and you know an athlete, send it their way. I know it's not hard for you to do on all your technology that students have. So other than that, we'll be looking for you this summer in our virtual classes.